these receivers are off the board because both of those receivers bring something to the table now. As excited as we were in terms of talking about DJax, right? DeSean Jackson, receiver that used to be with the LA Rams. With him, obviously we wanted him. We were like, man, is that somebody we would potentially trade for? We talked about, I think, Melvin Ingram, sending him out there or sending Ebron out there, right? To get DJax. Now that he's released, he's ultimately like freely available. And for us, when we were just talking about him, it was like, yeah, it makes perfect sense. I mean, if you're looking at his role, he'll be the third receiver, right? He's the guy that could take the top off the defense. He provides that. And we were saying that if Ray McCloud is the guy they're trying to use in that area, but we don't think he's nowhere near as effective as DeSean Jackson would be there, it would be a no-brainer. Why don't you just pick up DeSean? Well, I was all for that until the OBJ news broke, where they're telling basically, hey, man, OBJ, you can go home for the day. You're okay. Go home. Hey, take the day off. Hey, Deke, man, you good. Take the day off, bro. Don't trip. Take the day off. Relax. It's like, dang. Now they're saying that, he's going to be available. So now to me, if we were going to go the receiver route, if I could pick between DeSean Jackson, right, and Odell Beckham Jr., yeah, I think this is an easy one for me. I'm going to go with OBJ. But obviously, that's a very volatile situation as well, though. I think with both of those players is volatile. If we're being real about it, bro.
Right. From a locker room chemistry momentum standpoint, how much do we want to rock the boat right now?
That's a big rocking. Like a leaf, say, rock the boat, rock the boat.
Think of the payoffs, though. Now, Odell, there were those rumors. Was it 2 years ago when he was in Pittsburgh, when we played against him?
I don't remember.
He says to Tomlin, come save me.
Come get me? Come say, he's a come get me
I think it
guy?
was. I think it was when we had Ducker Mason and they came here.
Because I know that was Earl Thomas. Earl was telling everybody, come get me. Him and his brother. So if OBJ if OBJ said, I'm down, man, you just never know.
Do you remember that?
It sounds familiar. I just can't pinpoint it, but it sounds vaguely familiar.
And I remember when there were talks about OBJ, and this was 2 years ago, this has been like a constant thing with him, with the Browns. Like, when are they going to move him? Are they going to release him? What teams would be interested in trading for him? I think it was like us, the Patriots, Saints, Packers, like the four teams OBJ would be interested in going to. So I wonder, we talk about Tomlin and how good he is with players and how he could galvanize locker rooms and how distractions like this don't really get leaked to the media, or at least they're pushed down a little bit more than they should be. We talk about AB, even like this scenario. Zach Banner said in the interview, is like, it's actually a good thing that this Ingram situation didn't blow up more than what it could have. And he's like, that's just a testament to Tomlin right here. So I could see it working. It could be, it would definitely be worth the risk, I think. Odell Beckham, I think it could be.
Now, this is
DeSean Jackson. He's bounced around team to team over these past 10 years. Whereas Beckham, Browns organization, not getting the ball, Baker, could we just chalk it to that? Although he was somewhat of a distraction with the Giants.
Yeah. Well, and I will say this, even though he necessarily didn't directly say any of the things yesterday, it's the passive aggressive approach, right? No different like when people would get on Ben about doing his radio show and it was like, well, he doesn't necessarily call these guys out, but he's saying certain things that he knows is going to get noticed. When I think of OBJ and everything that happened yesterday, LeBron with his post, Odell Beckham's dad with his post, and then you got
That's bad.
I mean, like when I'm looking, I'm like, yo, I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to insulate yourself and say it wasn't me, but you're not going to tell me that your dad made this video.
He said he expects to still play this week.
Exactly. So it's like you do all these things to get the point out there, to get the message out there. None of these people are going to do that without you at least acknowledging them to say, hey, you got the green light. Everything is good.
That's a good point. LeBron James isn't doing that if it's
exactly, bro.
Man, I don't want to screw you up.
Right.
I know about what.
Or your dad, like, bro, you know how this is going to come off. You know they're going to kill me for this. They're going to say this is my fault. Don't do that. Or was it him or his girlfriend liking the post and putting the 100 emojis anytime there's people bashing Baker? It's like, bro, you necessarily didn't say it, but you're getting your message out there. And once again, if you wanted to clear it up, this is 2021. You could easily go out there and say, hey, look, man, I have zero problem. I want to be here. I'm committed to this team. Whatever they're saying, they don't speak for me. He didn't do that, though.
No.
You can't be silent with all this noise going on around you, especially from people in your inner circle. And that, to me, is where this becomes a little bit janky. Yeah. Because now when I think of OBJ, I say to myself, if we bring him here, is he going to get upset if Ben misses him?
Right.
Is he going to get upset? Because we know.
Whereas I don't think any of that's going on with the offense right now.
Correct. Right now, I think the guys understand the situation and they're fine with it. And they know, okay, Ben's not going to be perfect. He's not going to hit as high of a clip, but he still can get us when we have to have it. I don't know necessarily if OBJ or DeSean Jackson are going to be as understanding of that. And especially at their stages in their career, because you got to remember, our receivers currently are young. They haven't been in this league. They're still wet behind the ears. They still have a college type mentality. Whereas OBJ and DeSean Jackson, they operate from a business mentality, more of a mercenary standpoint. So when they come here, it's for one reason only, to put up numbers, because that's going to help them get paid again somewhere else. So it's just a difference in the sense of urgency. No different we talk about with Melvin, right? That's what we said with Melvin. He felt that urgency of, I need these snaps. I need to get out there. Yeah. Whereas a guy like Highsmith, if you're saying to him, hey, we're going to, dial back a little bit just so we can get Melvin more, Highsmith isn't going to trip the same way, because for him,
he still got 2 more years.
I got 2 more years and I'm a part of this family. Like this, we're here together. We're building like college, right? We got the unity, 4 or 5 years together. Melvin, you don't have to buy into that, because it's a different approach when you're the guy coming in here on a 1-year deal. So when I think of OBJ and I think of DeSean, as much as I love their talent, that's my biggest fear with both of them here.
I agree with you, because on the surface, as soon as you say, hey, could we sign DeSean Jackson? Could we sign OBJ? I'm saying, hell yeah. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Odell Beckham probably wouldn't be our third receiver. It'd be...
Yeah, he might bump up the...
At this stage in the game, between him, Claypool, and Deontay, I don't know who you would say is one, but I think it'd be more equal versus if we have DeSean Jackson. He's more or less wide receiver 3, the guy that's the deep threat. Mm-hmm. That's the one concern, is you're right. We do have this momentum. I think there's a vibe right now.
I got a question. E. Jenkins just brought this up in the chat. He says OBJ can kick. So does that change in terms of the value that he would bring? Because our situation at kicker right now.
I mean, get his joke.
He
kicked that net. Has he actually kicked field goals though?
He used to play soccer. He had to have a video of, but it was during the summer. It was a workout vid. But he did actually kick a legit field goal. He can, because he's a soccer background dude, if I remember correctly.
So he might even be better than Harvin at that.
At kicking, not punting. Yes.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Kicking field goals. Yeah. We just need to get a holder though. Cam Sutton, hopefully he's getting those reps.
Well, I mean, since he's not kicking fingers, you could have 7 down there. It'll be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you though. That's the one thing that concerns me a little bit. Obviously, if we sign either one of them, I'm amped up. But would we be surprised if something happened 6 weeks down the line where Jackson or Odell was a little disgruntled over some things? I'm going to lean on Tomlin, though. I'm going to lean on the Steelers organization. If he gets released and he signs here, I feel like you got to know what you're signing up for at this stage in the game.
Yeah.
At this point in the season.
But once again, though,
if it was like Melvin before the season, I can kind of get that.
Things evolve, things change. I think of last year, inside linebacker. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. We signed him. Oh my goodness, what's the kid? Oh, we're drawing a blank on him. Came from Tennessee. No, he was with the Jets. Started in Tennessee, was with the Jets. Oh my goodness, it was the linebacker we signed last year, man. Inside linebacker.
Oh, bro. Wow, you forget this.
Yeah, what's his name?
Avery Williamson.
I kept thinking Witherspoon. I'm like, it's not Witherspoon. But with Avery Williamson, right? Remember when he first got here, the expectation was what? We traded for him. He's about to play a lot. Didn't see the field at all. Then towards the end, he's starting, right? Playing. We thought he was playing well. Then you get to the playoff game, back off the field, Spillane is out there, right? So as a player, even though you might know what we initially came here for, things can change. But if you're not happy with how they're changing it, you don't necessarily feel that the change is warranted, that's going to cause some issues. We know that. So if you're OBJ and you're saying to yourself, man, when I'm watching these guys, I feel like I'm better than them, because that's the mentality, right? As an athlete, you always feel like you're just better than the next man. If that's his mentality, then that's not gonna, that's always gonna have an issue if he's not out there, or if he's not playing to what's gonna satisfy his craving. You know what I mean? And that's the part where I just feel like it's only going to create more issues because I don't see us, regardless if we were to pick up either one of those guys, I don't see them diminishing Deontay's role, and I don't see them diminishing Claypool's role. So either way, whether it's by default or just by our loyalty to those receivers right now, I just don't see how OBJ in particular would have a bigger role or be featured more. Now, I do think he would still get more targets than what he's getting in Cleveland.
That's what I'm thinking.
Cleveland's getting 1 target, 0 targets. Like that to me.
But think of how much it would open up the offense, maybe.
No question.
For Najee.
That's what Cleveland talks about. You listen to Stefanski and he's like, I understand, it's frustrating that OBJ's not getting these targets, but you look at the attention he draws. You look at how he opens. I talked about going into that game, right? If he's out there on the field, you're not playing a ton of single high safety because you have to respect what he can do. And that opens up that running game because now you're always going to have numbers in the box. So that part is definitely there, but I just feel like, man, if he was here, we would definitely give him. He'd get about at least three targets a game. He could at least get.
I think he would get at least 5 or 6.
That's what I'm saying. I just don't know how many. Because if he's getting 5, Deontay getting 5, Claypool getting 5, Najee getting 10, Pat getting 7. You know what I mean? I don't want to stone the ball.
Deontay's he's still probably gonna get like 8 or something though. He's like Ben's favorite target.
Gets his, man.
Yeah. You would have to think. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You'd put him on the field at least 60-70% of the time. Yeah.
And that's that lineup of he's playing though. He's been out there.
Right.
He's not getting targeted though.
Right. So if he's out there 60% but getting targeted more, maybe that's a big upgrade. A happy medium.
Absolutely.
Deontay, Odell, Claypool, Frymouth, Najee out there.
Insane. Sick. Let's go.
That'd be pretty awesome.
Najee will thrive the most because he's never going to face a packed box anymore. You can't pack a box with that group. Can't do it.
So it makes sense football-wise. I mean, I'd be all for it. I would be all for it. You could see how it could go south. I'd be willing to take the risk, though. I would be. Especially if he legitimately said to Tomlin, like, hey, come get me, come save me, then he's got to have a certain respect for him and maybe even like the Steelers organization. I think he would at least buy in from now to the end of the season no matter what happened.
That's just dicey. It's very dicey. And especially with how the group is going right now. I feel like we got
That's what I mean. Chemistry. We got momentum. We got chemistry
good chemistry.
Right now.
We're rolling. I don't know if I necessarily want to mess that up with DeSean Jackson or Odell Beckham Jr. or Odell Beckham Sr. because I feel like it's a package deal. I feel like if I get OBJ, I got to get OBS. With that being said, today's episode is brought to you by the good people over at DraftKings. The leaders in sports booking. Not only are they safe, but they are secure and Deke. Most importantly, they're reliable. We love reliability. We love that. And
you have to.
I mean, and not just that, we got action for you, for all those first time people out there. We got to have a promo code. Trina tells you all the time, right? Promo code. Use the promo code MOATS. If you use that promo code every single time, you will be fine. But for all the new users, when you use the promo code MOATS, you will get up to $1,000 in deposit bonus money. It's an awesome concept. You put money in, they match it. Just make sure you use the promo code MOATS, but only on your first time. All right. But with that being said, man, major love to them. But more importantly, Deke, as we said before, some people have gambling problems.
Sure.
Some people struggle with their ability to say no or to say yes. And when you have that, this is what you need to look at. This disclaimer right here. I said, if you or you know somebody who has a gambling problem, crisis counselor, or referral services, you just call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-GAMBLER. That's what you call. That's what you call.